Yeah, so here's an introductory exercise that's called LIFO, last in, first out algorithm. If you're wondering what a LIFO is, you can ask ChatGPT or AI or Google it, whatever. So the exercise here is a function block, because we have to remember something, an instance data block, or maybe a program. Here we will call this instance data block. So it should be called fbLifo. So this is a little about array handling and so on. Store up to 20 long real numbers. The length should be set using an integer constant max LIFO. Is 20. Yeah, and the LIFO top is entry 1, so this LIFO top should be a constant 1. So this is an array in the static long real LIFO, which is an array. We don't indicate that it is an arrow because it's just a basic data type real. Function program, the function block, or the function program should have or the program function block should have an integer control input, output in out xe with the following functionality. When it's 0, the program should do nothing. It's 1, the input x should be stored on top of the LIFO location index 1. The numbers already stored in the LIFO must be pushed before the x value is stored at the LIFO top. Pushed, roll down. When input is 2, the output y should be set to the LIFO top value. The numbers already stored in LIFO must be popped after the y value is set to the value in the location 1. The y values, so you fetch location 1. After popping, the last value should be set to 0. And the last, or the value at bottom of LIFO, should be set to 0. When the input is 3, the output should be set equal to the sum of all the values stored in the LIFO. Yeah, so you should have an output y, of course. That should be, according to functionality for x1, it's the 2 and 3, basically, the function. Yeah, contain number to be stored top. Test the function, blah, 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 to do this. What we get to know is here if then else if case and case, maybe for two statement array handling in out variables. And here's a tip: when you have handle xe, the both here, write it to 0, do nothing. It's called a constant 0, say do nothing or done or idle or whatever you should do. Your program should never contain numbers. For instance, the x equal 1 shouldn't be a 1, it should be a constant. For instance, name ci pop, because that's that one should do. Maybe 1. Maybe we should call it ce push, and 2 should be pop. Yeah. So okay, and so forth. It's whatever. Yeah, and here is suggestion. Here is the interface and some internal. Here are also the constants. So the push was 1, and the pop is 2 and 3. And here is the LIFO static, of course. No parameters, the in out, and then we need an index for the array when we are looping through the index. So we call it TI, temporary integer index. And program tips, internals in the function block. So here's the LIFO, which are pushed and popped. So last one out and then roll up. We'll sum all the values and output them depending on the code, or enter something first, push everything down. If it's full, maybe you should have an YF to indicate that the LIFO is full. Whatever, so we can't enter anything more, but that's not the main concern of this assignment. LIFO handling and summing and so on. The context could be something like this, that we have a transport that can store something on here, and the pushing here where there is some cylinders that just, when you get something new, they just sink down, or they are lowered into this intermediate storage, which is the push, and what we just mimic that with our LIFO. And when you should take out the last one, it's a pop, which we mimic. We remove that one, and these one, they are just being pushed up, and so on. So then there would be a program here, item handler, so item weight, maybe that's what we store here. and then it's the code. The 1 was the push, I think that's right. And then here, this one, transport handler 2, it says I want to get an item here, and then this program here too, there will be a program that I have to just remove this one and just pop them and so on. It uses code 2 or 3, and 3, this transport handler could just check out what is the weight of all the items that he have stored in here. But the main here it is the array handling. Yeah. So in this exercise, it was a LIFO algorithm. So maybe you could use case or something for this handling, and if then else, and array handling and indexing, and so on. We need an index in the array to roll it down, roll it up, and also a little about constants. We should never use numbers in our program. We should substitute that by programs. And then we looked at an interface, a suggested interface. Just use this one and copy this one into your function block. And then again, you each have to make an instance data block and call it in program main.